This is episode 45 of the Out of the Minds podcast. I'm Sean Oakley.
And I'm Sam Cooper, and for once, we have a game that isn't me versus you.
Yes, so Sam and I are both playing in the Kyber Cup competition, which means we should have some different opponents, some more interesting games. And on that note, we'll dive straight in. This evening, we've got my round one Kyber match against Mulfa. And everyone on the plays the same scenario or per round. So we're playing chance engagement for round one. So some classic X-wing, so to speak. So let's jump into the lists. So as regular listeners will know, I have been tweaking around with my scum list that I've been thinking of taking. And I think no, this isn't the list I played last time because I was still playing. So, as on that note, and apologising for the deviation, as regular listeners will know, last week I was playing Gamut Key and I wanted to try and fly him and get some practice and work out how to use him and how to get him to, get behind Maul and, really do his thing and what the best way of doing that was. I've since made the decision that the best way to use Gamut Key to get Maul to keep stuff is to put the crew onto Maul.
I mean, makes sense.
So yeah,
if that's pretty much the only reason you're using him, may as well have him as a crew.
Yeah. So on that note, I've bought Maul with Hate, Cutthroat, the IG, 88D, and Lando combo, Gamut Key. To get those three crew slots, I've got the Unite Brother title and the Drop Bay seats with no Mandos in them. Then Veteran Tail Gunner's back on. Contraband and the Swivel Wing. There's not much to say about that. I've got my stapled Manaroo with Notorious Jamming Beam, Overdue Modulators, Punishing One, and R5P8 at AHAV. And then I've gone with Q90. So instead of 2, 3, or a 4 and a 2, I've just gone with another 6-point ship in the, I was going to call it the Razor Crest. It's not the Razor Crest, whatever the actual title is, but it's the Razor Crest.
It's the Razor Crest.
And for those who don't know, Q90 has actually got quite a nifty little ability of after you fully execute an advanced maneuver, you may perform a calculate or barrel roll action even while stressed. If you do, take a strain thing. He's also got L337. My thinking being with that, because the Razor Crest only has straight blues, just wait until your opponent shoots and rolls a semi-decent roll. Get them to re-roll it, flip L3, and then suddenly all your banks are blue as well, which will really help in that ship.
As long as you're unshielded, right?
So, as long as I'm unshielded, but it's got 7 hull and 2 shields. And then I've stapled a hull upgrade for 8 hulls, so I'll likely be unshielded quite soon.
Yeah.
And then on that, I've also got Pelimoto, who allows you to system phase repair do an action on the damage card, and then can roll a dice to do others. So I'm obviously thinking I'm going to have a lot of hull. I'm probably going to take some crits. It's good action economy. And it does actually come up in this game, so we'll get to that. I've got Contraband, because with his ability, you can actually do it where you do an advanced maneuver, do a calculator or a barrel roll, and if you've contrabanded, then do your action as well. So, that's good action economy. Then it's got the Razor Crest title and a hidden illicit, because the Razor Crest allows you to do that. Because I know my opponent's list beforehand, I just bring whatever I'm planning on putting, and it's Babu Frick. So nice. Yeah. So turn 0. Obviously, objectives don't matter, and rocks. It's actually quite rocks. I basically want them as far left as I could get them, so that I can set up on the right with Manaroo and slowly turn left, I suppose. Yeah. And my opponent kind of played into that, was happy to do the same. I'm guessing. So we should go through my opponent's list because this will explain it. So he's bought Republic.
It is important.
Yeah, he's bought Republic. He's bought Contrail because you staple him to a Republic list. He's bought Hawk in the lat with dedicated Palpatine / Sidious and 7th Fleet Gunner, and then obviously getting the rerolls from the lat's ability, so really helping the Republic put damage through, which has not always been one of their strongest points. Barriss with the classic loadout of Instinctive Aim, Concussion Missiles, and CLT. Obi-Wan in the Delta 7 with Compassion, Instinctive Aim, CLT, R4, and Concussion Missiles. And then Plo with Instinctive Aim, Ion Missiles, and R4, CLT, and Outmaneuver.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, I'll say
It's a chunky Plo.
If you got the loadout points, you don't really have chunky Plos anymore. It's 5 points. Yeah, so I'm guessing he's happy to have the obstacles close together because the deltas and the V-wing are quite maneuverable. The deltas, especially so. So he can weave in and out. And obviously, I'm 2 large bases and a medium, so I don't have that. So yeah, we kind of both get what we want for different reasons. So setup, I'm first player. I've got 3s and my opponent doesn't. He's 4/4/5s. So I place Ahab in the middle because he can go towards the asteroids if he wants. We've got 6 asteroids, basically. As long as he doesn't finish on a obstacle, he doesn't really care.
Yep.
And then I put Manaru on the right-hand side, but not as far right as you can go, just a little in, thinking he'll go quite fast up the board and then start turning left to see if we can catch my opponent. Or if my opponent sets up opposite me, we'll just straight into them, because I'm pretty sure I win a joust here.
Yeah, I'd have thought so. He has he doesn't have the initiative, actually. There's going to be lots of simultaneous.
There'll be lots of simultaneous fire. Like, I could see him burning Maul down, but I think I take a lot with me, so...
Yeah, I'd edge on that.
But then he sets up Barriss and Hawk on the opposite side. And there's not a lot of space on that side. There's 2 and 2 rocks. And then some clusters near the middle. So I then have the decision of what to do in my 5s. Do I set up over there and joust? But then I don't think I win that joust. I don't think the Razor Crest.
I think he won all of them.
So I set up those 2, basically each side of Manaru. And then, because my opponent has set up there, and then sets up Plo next to them, and then Obi and Plo next to Hawk, and then Contrail behind Barriss. My assumption is he is going to come down that side, thread his way through the obstacles. So my game plan then becomes send Manaru fast to start with, turn him left, and come through. There's a reasonable gap just above the center objective that I think I can bank round into and straight through. And then I'll basically turn Maul and Q9 left straight away. But I say straight away, my plan actually, turn 1, is to stop both of them, which means my opponent's coming towards me twice, which gives me better information, and there's enough time to turn in afterwards. And then I think realistically, if I can get it so that he's come through and the engagement almost happens in my corner, sort of my corner towards the first rocks, that's fine with me, because I don't have to worry about them at all, and he's got to come through them towards me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
His only other option is to go into the big space in front of me, and then that's fine. So, yeah, that's it. So let's crack on with the game. And here's first player. So we overlap on the 5s, basically. So I one hard barrel roll with Ahab to just keep him roughly with the rest of the group. 3 straight Manaru and stop both the 5s. Mofar just basically straights everybody. The Barrison's Contrail 5 straight. Obi and Play 5 straight boost. And Hawks just behind them. So he's still got lots of options. But it pretty much means that the engagement is happening in those rocks somewhere.
Yeah. So it looks like what you've also done is you've seeded a point, right? Because he's got the center area.
I have seeded a point because I didn't... Unless I go straight into those rocks, which I don't want to.
Yeah.
Basically, on this game, I accept that I'm not going to score many objectives. Also, it's only 1 point a turn, and while that does rack up, it's not insurmountable.
Yeah, it's not insurmountable. It might likely be tie breaking, but not game breaking.
So, yeah. Actually, ironically, if I paid him a little more attention, maybe that would have made a difference. But you'll see. I don't think there's necessarily a way to do that. But anyhow, so setting up for turn 2, and this is where I realise I've made a fundamental error.
Fundamental error, the bad.
Yeah, I shouldn't have stopped with Q9. I should have won straight.
Why is that?
Because I've only got blue straights. Now I don't want to spend another turn going straight. Although actually maybe I should have spent another turn going straight because that would delay him in the corner. But then I worry that Maul's going to get caught out.
Right.
So I have to turn him, which means he's staying stressed.
Right.
And if my opponent rushes down into the bottom left corner, I'm going to have to keep turning him, and he's going to stay stressed. So yeah, I think a 1 straight would have been a better call because then I'd just do a hard turn on the next turn, and there. Maul's fine because he's got a 1 bank blue, so that's absolutely fine. But yeah, so I end up 3 banking Q9 and just accept the fact I'm stressed. Yeah, cool. So we're setting dials. So Ahab does a 1 hard back up the board. And takes focus. Manu does a 3 bank round, just setting up nicely to come in towards that gap. If my opponent does start coming through the small gap towards the center objective, I should start getting stuff in Manu's front arc.
Yeah.
So Hawk moves forward. At the end phase of turn 1, he flipped Palpatine to Sidious.
Palpatine.
So he tends to use Sidious like or the card like I do, and use Sidious more to give out effectively a double coordinate for a stress. The Deltas have got quite good blues, and Plo's got an R4, so it's a good strategy.
Not like I use it to give focuses to my droids with prockets.
No. Well, you tend to keep it on Palpatine a lot more, and
yeah, but that's because when I'm running it on more, and I want the stress option.
Exactly. But yeah, he coordinates a boost to Plo with a focus and a stress. I mean, it does help that I know a lot of the blues on the deltas, so it does give me an indication of where he's going or what he's likely to be doing, but it doesn't hugely help if. But anyway, so yeah, so he's first player, so he's moving his 4s and then his 5s first. So Barris just comes forwards, and then Plo and Obi just do a slow bank round, basically.
Yep, all looking normal.
So the engagement is likely to happen where I think it's going to happen. So I do a bank, and I do a bank with Maul and a bank with Q9. And And yeah, this is where I think that the stop with Q9 is a mistake, because that engagement is happening in that bottom corner. Even if Barris turns in, it's still down there. If I'd one straighted the first turn and then two harded this turn, I'm still
in a much better position to capitalize.
Well, I'm still almost where I am, except I'm actually facing directly towards the opponents instead of 45 degrees, and I'm not stressed.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's a learning for the next turn. A delaying tactic doesn't have to be a stop, but I'm quite happy with Manaru's position, because he is coming in behind, basically. So that's good. And yeah, unfortunately, just out of range on Manaru, and no points on the objective. So
both of you are range 2.
Yeah. So this turn I am going.
So next turn looks like it's going to be like, I don't know the deltas well enough, but next turn it feels like my gut instinct is dogpile Maul.
Yeah, and I was expecting that. So I was like, how do I deal with that? How do I think? Well, honestly, I think Maul just takes them on, because he's
big and he's bulky and he's
big
health.
and he's bulky. What I do though, and it's a fundamental error here. So I one banked and I double calculated, and then I forgot to gamut key.
Right, because if you get if you know that the fighting's likely happening next turn, gamut key. I
should have gamut keyed end of round 2 to then have 4 calculates round 3. Is what it is. I didn't clock it until we were pretty much halfway into the planning phase, and
at that point, it's a little.
Yeah, it's a little too late to go, oh, I'm really sorry, I meant to do this. So it's fine. I just let it go. I didn't even mention it. But it's something I remember for the next set. But my issue, Manaru does another 3 bank, because that puts him into the channel, basically. Have I 3 hard to the left, I think, because it's nice and wide. It'll get me range 2 of the objective, just in case my opponent isn't. And it'll start trying to get the arc around towards the lat, because obviously I want to shoot the lat with Ahab, because that's where he gets his extra dice.
Yeah.
But it's what do I do with the 2 I5s? Maul's doing a 1 bank, because it's the only maneuver, I think, that doesn't clip the mustache rock and turns the arc in the right direction. I think a hard turn would swing me past, and then I'm just taking a broadside from the Jedi. And I think another bank might just take you that bit further, that you clip the sticky out bit at the bottom.
Right.
So with that in mind, what do I do with Q9? And I'm not about just going straight, but then it's like, what do I do the turn after? So I think I actually 2 hard him in behind, which means there's another turn he's stressed, and also another turn that he's not likely getting a shot, because it'll swing his arc round too far.
I'm looking at this. I just feel like you bank. Can you 1 bank?
So if I can 1 bank, but it's white, and the problem, and then if I 1 bank, I am almost directly lined up with that mustache rock.
Yeah, I think because you're 2 straight you can do, right? That's your slowest blue.
Yeah, I think so. I think they've got a 1 straight. I'm pretty sure they've got all the straights, and they're all the straights up to 4, I think.
Yeah, I think you can then 1 straight and then work it out from there. Because
I think a 1 straight would put you right in front of the rock. Although I suppose I could stop, use his ability to barrel roll out the way.
Yeah,
that's interesting. I hadn't clocked that. I was also kind of hoping that if I 2 harded, they might take some pot shots at range 3, but because he's got no mods, whereas Maul's just packing the force, and then hey, they shoot him, I can flip L3, probably lose the 2 shields, but I'm fine with that, and then suddenly I can start banking rounds with the blues. But yeah, maybe I did consider the bank, and I just thought the one, just line up with the rock. I thought they'd dance around me, In hindsight, yeah, maybe one straight or even a stop the next turn at a barrel roll.
Yeah.
But one of my big weaknesses is I'm not good at thinking loads of moves ahead. I'm a very much here and now.
Here and now. Let's go.
Yeah, that's a thing. So we'll quickly whip through that. But yeah, I do pretty much exactly what I said. So system phase, I flip overtune modulators.
Okay.
Because I'm considering giving them to Ahab in case he needs to do a barrel roll or something. I do 3 hard Ahab and I barrel roll him so he's sat in front of a rock because he doesn't care about it, but I think it's where I can get the best shot into the lat. Barris comes through the gap that I thought she might and just takes a focus. The lat moves, sits behind the rock, and then I
Coordinates a double focus to Obi-Wan.
Yeah, and then I do what I said I was going to, and the 2 deltas then bank round in front of Maul, but at range 2, so I'm quite happy with that. Until he starts whipping out a million dice, and I realise just how good like 7th Fleet Gunner and the lat ability can be.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm first player, and I think this is Q9 into Obi for 1 hit. Which I don't do anything. And then I think this is
Maul into
Obi for hit crit. And I'll just say the dice were not kind. Molfar had I think -4.5 greens. Like every time the Jedi rolled, it was more often than not at least 2 blanks. But dice be dice.
Dice be dice indeed.
So yeah, I go into Obi, and Obi takes a console fire. And then I'm pretty sure Obi forgets to roll for the console fire. But that's fine.
Ooh.
That's fine. Neither of us picked it up, so it is what it is. He goes into Maul, and with CLT gets 3 hits. Maul spends a calculate for some re-rolls and then double evades, so takes 1, gets the false back. So loses a shield. I'm a bit slow on the overlay updating.
That's fine. It'll catch up.
Plo goes into Maul just at range 2 for 2, and I re-roll and force for 1. So again, take another 1. So my shields are down. But from 2 CLT shots from the Jedi, I'm quite all right with that.
Lart puts a bit of a baby shot in.
Yeah, so the Lart shoots Ahab, gets 1, and Ahab rolls 5 dice and manages to evade it. Barris does a concussion missile into Ahab, I think.
Must be Ahab if you're rolling 3.
Yeah, Ahab. I was kind of hoping he'd shoot Manaru to trigger Notorious, but no such luck. And Ahab dodges it. I then go into the lat. It's obstructed, but it's still weight of numbers. Like it's 2 on 3 on 2 instead of 2 on 3. So what I did do at the start of the engagement though is forget to lob. Oh no, I didn't forget. I chose not to lob the calculates over to Ahab because I ended up with Contrail sat in Manaru's front arc. So I wanted them to basically shoot Contrail, and I hoped that I'd get maybe 2 eyeballs, or maybe 1, and get rid of some. I plink a shield off with that shot from Ahab into the Hawk, and then Manaru goes into Contrail, rolls hit, crit, out of hand. Of course I did. And Plink 2 through, so that's half points on Contrail. And then I think no one scores a point on the objective, so I'm up 3-1.
You've got half on Obi, half on Contrail?
Yeah, I don't have half on Obi. Oh no, I do. Why is that not updated half on Obi?
What do you? Obi is you get rounded down, right? So you get 2 points for half on Obi and 1 point for half on Contrail.
Yeah, so I'm up 3-1 because I haven't got any objective points, and no one does because annoyingly Barris is just range 2. And Manaru takes 3 strains.
Lovely.
Doesn't matter an iota.
Yeah, I feel like you don't care on Manaru.
No, it doesn't matter an iota because he doesn't get shot, but actually,
yeah, but like
I don't think you care. You've got what 9 health. If 9 health with 1 green is the same as, well, almost the same as a YV, isn't it? They're like 12, but it's how much? What's the infiltrator got?
What health?
Yeah,
10. 6 and 4.
Yeah,
but one agility.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, even with 3 strains, you're only 1 less than an infiltrator.
Yeah.
But hey ho.
Hey.
So this is actually quite is it this turn that's interesting? No, it's the next turn that's interesting. So this turn, Maul stops. Because regardless of Plo and Obi aren't going past. So Maul stops and flips Contraband, because this is the time you take the target lock and you double mod, or you double calculate and are effectively double modded. And I spend a lot of time swinging behind a 1 straight from, or any straight maneuver from Q9, gets past the back of the gauntlet. So I decided to do that. I know that it means that I'm probably not getting a shot, but I feel it's worth it at this point because the other options are bumping into myself.
Yeah.
Although, mate, I don't know. Is bumping into yourself and taking that damage worth a shot? Possibly.
Maybe. I reckon it is.
Especially
is Q9's ability fully execute?
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah. Also, I wouldn't be able to partially execute a advanced maneuver. I'm stressed.
Oh, right. Oh, God, I just rolled something. Okay, so you just straight pass, basically, with Q9.
Although, maybe taking that damage and...
Honestly, maybe you contraband here.
Yeah. I was just...
Contraband, stop, get the calculate, take an action.
Yeah, maybe actually contraband, stop, barrel roll to the right. Because that sets me up nicely for next turn. Or even, yeah, okay. But anyway, but I don't decide to do that. Although I really actually think I should have, because he's got a tractor beam on him. And my thing is there, if you've got Maul sat there, like range 1 of the Jedi, just inch a tractor onto one of them, or try. Don't worry about the moving them. Just deny that agility. Because the Jedi are fragile. But,
yeah, and like, hey. I mean, I can go into hypothetical, like, if he gets first player, if he moves first, bumps, shoots first, then Q9 says, cool, you just had a range 0 shot, now I'm going to give Maul a range 1 shot.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so I don't do that, but that's why we do this podcast, to look for those mistakes. So a turn A have down, because it can flip through that rock to either present a threat to the side of the 2 I5 Jedis, catch the Lart if it's coming down, or block Barris.
Yeah.
And Manaru does a 3 straight. I would have preferred to have gone slower, but I think
get past that rock.
I think a 2 straight clips that rock. So
you bump into Contrail this way?
I don't think I do. I actually think I slide past him.
Okay. I'm just looking at the stream and I'm thinking like that looks like that would clip Contrail.
I thought I'd clip, to be honest, but I was fine with that because clipping Contrail I don't think puts me far enough back to hit the rock.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I know that in all likelihood the lat's going down because it's going to go down and coordinate the two Jedi. Barriss is going to do one or two things. She's probably going to go straight, or she's going to turn down towards Maul. So straight's fine. She's not shooting anyone. Maybe clipping around the back towards Q9. And then, in all likelihood, the two Jedi, the two I-Fis, Plo and Obi, they're two straighting.
Yeah.
But at this point, Obi's on 2 health. Maul's taken 2 shields, I think. I'm like, I will trade quite a chunk off of Maul here to kill Obi.
Yeah.
I think this, you know.
Well, you can afford to take half on Maul if you kill Obi-Wan, because half on Maul is worth less than killing Obi-Wan.
So yeah, we roll and I am first player. Sorry. No, I'm not, because that's the last turn, because I'm still doing dial, so just ignore me while I talk rubbish. We actually get quite a few rounds in this game, and I suppose because it's chance encounter. I am first player, so I do exactly what I said. As you can see, I just slide past Contrail.
Yeah, nice.
I decide not to focus here because I didn't want to keep giving myself strains. So I actually move the lock onto Contrail, deciding not to rotate. I know that means I probably won't get a shot, but it means that I'm not stressed, so I can 2 hard on the next turn and have an action, basically. Barriss does straight past Ahab, and the bank round actually comes towards the back of Maul. The Lat has come down and coordinates a target lock. No, hang on.
An evade.
An evade.
Plo, it looks like.
I don't get. No, he's done it. Yeah. And a focus, I'm assuming, which he's about to go and get. Maul does a stop, flips contraband, does the double calculate. Q9 does slide past and just takes target lock onto play for future. And then both the Jedi. Obi tried a 5k, which I was not calling in the slightest. I'm guessing he thought I'd move.
Yeah, I feel like that's okay, because that's just like if Maul moves, this is great. If Maul doesn't, well, it's fine.
Or even, it might be the fact that where Q9's base just pokes up behind might have been calling. But I would have been happy to have one of them behind me, because then I'll just start veteran tailgunnering them. So... but anyhow. So I am first player, so I get to shoot first. But Contrail
he's added the focus to Plo. Yeah. There we go. He's just remembered.
Yeah. So Contrail does a 1 hard. Realizes he's still in Manuri's front arc, so boosts, and then links it to a lock. So yeah, I have Maul shot. Q9 doesn't have one, and I'm like, so I have the range 1 shot into Plo, but I decide to screw it. I do the range 0 into Obi, because I need to get 2 through. It's 3 on 3.
You have the force.
It's 3 on 3. I've effectively got a focus. He's got a focus. I'm pretty sure. So I should get at least 1. And he's got a console fire. A has behind him with a shot. I kind of feel Obi should die here.
I think statistics is close,
but that was my thought behind it. I could have range 1'd Plo, but I thought focus evade on 3 dice versus focus on 3 dice.
Yeah,
like okay, I get 1 extra red dice on Plo. I suppose I could have double modded as well, but I don't know. I kind of was in the mindset that I wanted those calculators for defense because he's taking 3 shots.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine. Like, getting rid of Obi-Wan is like points on the board, right? He's the easy target.
Exactly. So I roll hit.
Hit crit.
Well, I roll hit eyeball crit, spend a force. He rolls evade blank blank, and then I do the gentlemanly thing where he goes, "Oh, I meant to pass over the evade with Plo at the start of the engagement phase." And I was just like, "It's fine, man, do it." So he passes over the evade, just takes the crit, which is a fuel leak, and then I get a little bit of karma back from a gentlemanly when he rolls a hit on his console fire. So Obi-Wan dies. I feel
That's
like
how karma works.
Well, I mean, I could
have the evade, now die.
Well, I mean, I could have been a dick and gone,
Yes,
"You've missed your
yes.
opportunity. Obi's dead." And I was like, "No, I'm not that kind of player. I don't want to play that way. Most X-wing people don't play that way.
Yeah.
You know, it's no, do it, man. It's fine." And so, yeah. But Obi gets a shot and shoots.
Although I will play devil's advocate, if he had passed it over at the start of the engagement phase, would you have shot Plo instead?
Possibly, but what do you do there?
Yeah.
That's just so hypothetically backwards.
Like, I was just like,
yeah, probably. If
like you can get into devil's advocate there, be like,
yeah, you could. But I did what I felt was the gentlemanly thing at the
Yeah.
time. So, but Obi still being I5 gets to shoot Q9, which I'm actually fine with. He has a hell of a shot because it's range 1 and in bullseye. And
Yep.
he rolls. Oh no, he rolls hit, and then adds the CLT, and then he changes it immediately. But then I explain that I can L3 first, and I do L3, and he rolls 3 blanks, and then I roll and get an evade. No, sorry, I roll, get focus blank. So because of the CLT, he still plinks a shield off.
Yeah.
And now I have, well, not blue banks yet, but I'm in that region.
You're banking on taking some damage.
But Plo's going into Maul.
Yeah, of course he is.
Which is fine.
There's a Ploton torpedo right there.
But it means I'm taking 2 shots from... I'm taking 2 shots, and I've got 2 calculates for rerolls if I need them. So... I won't go into the who's and whys, but Plo and Ahsoka go into Maul and roll really well. He spends both calculates on rerolls, loses shields, gets down to 4 hull with a wounded pilot. So he takes a fair chunk.
Yeah.
But
I mean, this is what this Republic list is good at doing.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
If you've lined up the CLTs.
Exactly.
With the rerolls.
The lat, I can't remember who the lat goes into. Looking at that, and
looks like that's Maul.
But he evades it. And that's it.
You miss Ahab's shot?
Oh, maybe that was Ahab. I don't know.
Either way, it doesn't look like anything's been done.
No. So, no points again on the objectives, and I'm currently up 6-5. So it's a close game. So, Manaru's turning down hard turn to come behind the lat and contrail every day of the week. Now, I really am and ah about what to do with Ahab here. And what I think I should have done, because Mauls can't stop, I've burnt contraband, so I've got to go forward or bank. I don't really want to bank. A bank nets me nothing here.
Yeah.
So I want to go forward. Now, my ideal scenario is I am first player. I dial in a 2 straight, I bump into Plo. If Plo goes... Red focus. If Plo goes behind me, fine.
You shoot the lat or contrail and then double tap.
Exactly. And so... that's my deal. And so with Ahab, I'm like, I want to carry on shooting at the lat, and the lat's going to turn. So I end up doing a 2 bank, because I think that's going to give me a nice arc on where the lat's going to be. I'll just take a focus. And then Q9, I think, does a 1 bank to the right to basically bring the arc round. Because I don't know. Like, Ahsoka's not hard turning after me because she can't. There's a rock in the way.
You mean Barris, right?
I meant Barris.
Yeah.
I meant Barris. Sorry. Yeah, she's not turning after me. She could straight and boost, but there's only so far you can get your arc round. And if I do end up bumping, she's either going to bump into me and land on the rock, or she's going to be in my rear arc. And the other ships basically have to come around that bottom left asteroid. So
yeah,
that's my logic there. However, doesn't quite play out like that because I unfortunately end up as second player. So some interesting.
So Chloe gets out of dodge, and you bump into Ahab, don't you?
Yeah, pretty much. So there's, I don't know. Also, yeah. So there's some interesting choices here. So my opponent two slooped Ahsoka.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Actually, I was like, oh, he's just going to two sloop.
I didn't see that because I thought turn next. Where'd you go?
You just bank up towards the center and net a point.
But then I surely like swing people in after you.
Well, yeah, later, but like you can net a point, and then you just turn it like because like where things are, obviously Q9 hasn't moved, but like you just bank up to the center, and then you can hard turn down towards the fight again.
So I roll for the bump into Ahab and take a damage. So I am down to 3. So
Ouch.
I'm pretty sure Maul dies this turn.
You get the focus of Night Brother though, right?
What? No, because I did not dial in a white maneuver. I dialed in a blue.
Trying to work out. Oh, you gammeted the calculate.
Yeah. So I've got I gammet a calculate because I have 1 left.
I mean, may as well, right?
Well, yeah, exactly.
I mean, hey, isn't Maul looking happy? He's got a shot into someone in front and he's got a shot into someone in the back.
Yes. However, I think I may have been an idiot. But anyway, so Q9 banks round and banks round and locks the lat. And start of engagement. Sorry, Plo
takes the disarm off the Lart because the Lart disarmed for 7th Fleet Gunner. I like that.
Also, Plo didn't have a shot, so
yeah, exactly.
Well. So he's first player, so he range 1s into Maul with Contrail.
7th Fleet.
I mean, Jesus, watch a bloody effectively an A-wing roll 4 dice.
Yeah, 7th Fleet Gunner.
So 3 hits and a crit. I have to spend the calculate to re-roll. And take spend the force for 2 evades and take hit crit, and thank God it's not a direct, it's a structural damage. And then it's my fires. Now I go with Q9 first, and I make an interesting choice here, and I ummed at the time whether it was the right decision or not, but I still think it's the right call. I fire my tractor beam into him.
The Lart?
Into the Lart.
I don't think this is the right decision.
Right, so there's reasoning. So, if I get 2 through, bearing in mind it's a 3-on-1 shot, and I've got a lock, I barrel roll him to the right.
I don't think that fits.
Oh, of course it does. It's the small side, isn't it?
No.
Yeah, it's a medium base. It's a small side. It's the thin side of the 1 straight.
Yeah, it's the thin side, but like surely you just clunk into Contrail.
No. I barrel roll him towards the board edge.
Oh, the board edge. Okay.
Yeah. Barrel roll him toward the board edge. Force him to accept that he's either doing a hard turn on the next turn or he's stressing himself for the turn. And then I block him with Ahab. That's like next turn. And then I just annihilate him with my 3 ships.
So I'm going to say I disagree. I think you should have gone for just shooting because...
And, yeah.
Like, I don't know how the track beam turns out. The way you're talking about it sounds like you don't get enough through. But, like, I think in this turn, you have a pretty good chance at killing the lot.
I don't think I should have even shot into the lat. What I think I should have, in hindsight, what I think I should have done here was shot into contrail.
Maybe. But no, I think with all 4 of your ships shooting the lot, there's a good chance it dies.
But contrail, it's a body off the board. It's something not
It's
shooting.
1 point.
It's not about the points. It's about it's something shooting at me and scoring points.
Like, maybe.
Like, I don't have a huge amount of agility apart from Ahab, but hey. But I do shoot the tractor because that was my plan, and I did whether it was the right thing or not. And with a lock, I end up with 2, and I get 1 tractor through. So, yeah. It is what it is. Also, my other thought was that the tractor would lower the agility for the other ships, so it's then it's not having any agility against any of my other 3 ships. So here's what it is. So Maul goes in at range 2 for a hit crit, and plinks the shields off and lost to put a crit through. Oh no, I think it's just the shields because it's got 6.
You got 1 damage through into the lat, it looks like. So.
Must have forgotten to overlay the crit.
Yeah, looks like you have. Well, either way.
That's fine.
So Maul's dead.
So Maul's dead because the lat went into here. Oh no, sorry. And then I veteran tail gun it out the back and plunk a shield off Barris. Barris went into Maul, I think, and killed him, and the lat whimpered against Ahab, I want to say. So Manaru, I have an interesting choice here. I've got range 2 obstructed into the V-wing with a target lock, or I've got range 3 unobstructed into the lot. And I take the lot shot because it's 3 on 2 as opposed to 3 on 4. And because I've got my droid, I'm effectively double, not double mod because I don't have a focus, but I have the same mods. And I get 3 hits and plink some more through, so the lat is on 1. But Molfar plinks 1 off the objective, and I'm currently 10-8 behind.
Yeah, so this is close.
It is, and we're 34 minutes left. So, I know what I haven't done oddly. Yeah, the overlay is slightly behind on Q9 because he has lost his shields, and he's also taken 1 damage. That damage was a crit, and it is a loose stabilizer.
Okay.
Oh, is it? Yeah, it is this turn. It's the loose stabilizer, isn't it? Yeah, I think. I'll tell you in a minute. We'll soon know if it's a loose stabilizer. Because what I think I do here... Is it this one that's a loose stabilizer? No, it might be the next turn that's a loose stabilizer. Sorry. I'm thinking ahead, and I should...
I don't think Q9 got shot this turn.
Right, yeah, I'm thinking ahead, and I should be thinking about the... watching the actual game. So, yeah. Next turn, so I turn... yeah. Right, so I turn Ahab in front of Contrail, barrel roll, because I think Contrail's going to bank round and I want to block him. Manu, I have to do a 1 bank away, unfortunately, because the edge of that rock would have just clipped a straight maneuver. And I wasn't sure a bank in would have cleared that rock either. And looking at it now, I don't think it does.
No, it wouldn't have.
So I make the decision here to bank away and then focus into a rotate. Trying to catch Contrail because I've already got a lock on him. Yeah, it'll only be 2 dice. But it'll be 2
better
dice.
Than nothing.
And then I can hard turn the next turn. Yes, I'll be stressed, but I just have to accept that. So I almost dialed in a 5k with Q9. And the only reason I didn't is because I thought if the lat stops, then that bumps. And I wish I had, because the lat didn't stop it too hard at round. Like my first thought was, if he 2 halves round, a 5k is perfect. Because you're 5k, you pop contraband, you take the calculate from his action, you target lock him. Well, hey, you finish off the thing before it can
easy
shoot.
peasy finish off Hawk.
I wish I'd done that because he 2-hard it, but that's hindsight. But it was if he stops, then I just bump in and I'm stressed, so I can't. Although I could have bad fricked it, and then I could have taken the red calculates, and maybe even then, maybe that was the right call.
Yeah, because then you can Babu Frick, and then Babu Frick the stress of the red focus of red calculate.
I could. So yeah.
I mean, if Babu Frick's getting fricked, then you may as well just, blow it all in one go.
Yeah. So maybe I should have just kept with the 5k, but that's overthinking. So what I dialed in and said was a 1 straight, because then I thought he just bumps. So he's first player this turn. Now this is interesting because he turns Contrail in, who jumps over Ahab, doesn't bump, and was coordinated by Hawk when he moved, so that's why he's got a focus, a lock, and a stress. Banks in, doesn't remove the stress because it's white. Barris didn't bank up towards the objective. She 1-harded down and stayed stressed. And Plo turned in and bumped into the back of
Q9.
Now I do a 1 straight, and I move straight, couple of millimeters, and bump into Contrail. We then have a quick discussion because I'm an idiot and keep using the wrong word and saying that I can do a red coordinate instead of a red calculate. And my father was like, "What?" I'm like, "Is it an ability?" And it's like, and it literally took me about a minute to realise I was saying coordinate. I meant calculate. I'm so sorry.
God.
Oh, but yeah, it was funny. So yeah, I do take the red calculate because I've got that range 1 shot into the lat, and I'm gonna try and blip it. But he shoots first. Now this is the interesting thing. He whips out 5 dice for a 7th Fleet Gunner range 1 shot thing.
But surely you're still range 0, right?
Now see, this is the thing. We end up having quite a large discussion about this because he was like, "Well, you've moved," and I'm like, "But I've moved straight, and you're still touching my base, so surely you're still range 0." And we were like, "Well, how can you be range 0 if you move?" And I'm pretty sure you can fully execute a maneuver and still be range 0. It's rare, I'll grant you. But if he's bumped into me, in the middle, and I've moved a couple of centimeters forward. I mean, we looked at it, and like the nub was sticking into the side of my base. So it's like, surely that's still range 0, even though I've moved, because I've moved straight. It's just sliding along.
Judge.
Sorry?
Yeah, I feel like that's a ping for the Kyber Cup Discord, and see if there's anyone willing to judge it.
I mean, I turned around in the end and said, "Don't worry about it." If he'd wanted to take it to the judge, he could have. But we're both friendly guys. It doesn't matter that much. And we talked a bit more. I was like, "Don't worry about it too much." You can see our hands shifting around as we were looking at it. But in the end, he goes, "No, I actually, on hindsight, I think you're right." And just rolls 2 and then rolls a hit crit, which is where I take the last shield and a loose stabilizer.
So you kill Hawk.
Yes, sorry, I forgot to press pause there. So yeah, I range 1 into the lat and kill him because it's range 1, so it's like 4 on 1 with the calculate. I only have to get 1 through. Contrail had range 0'd into Q9 and not done anything, and I don't think Barris did either.
Barris doesn't look like she's. I think Barris lost her rerolls from the gunship.
Yeah, exactly. So I go into the back of Contrail, who kept his focus, and I managed to sneak 1. Is it this time I sneak 1 damage through? I thought I snuck 1 damage through, but maybe I didn't. And Ahab does nothing. So Belfast nicks another point from the objective, and we're 11 apiece after 6 rounds. So a really close, interesting game. So
So far, Molfar has secretly killed Bosk. He's got 3 points off the objective.
Yes.
He secretly killed that extra Bosk you had on your list.
Yeah. I think it ends up 4-1 on the objective.
Oof.
So this turn, I know what I want to do with Q9. He's got a loose stabilizer. But he's also got Pelly, so that's irrelevant. I can fix that. So what I want to do is I want to fix it, and I want to 2 Talon to the right.
Okay, so Ahab needs to 4 straight.
So Ahab, well, I'm not even sure if 4 straight clears.
Or no, you want to do a hard turn to Ahab's right.
Is exactly. I have to accept that Ahab's not shooting basically, and duck him out the way. So I do. I think I do a 2.
Or you go left.
I spent ages thinking about the left, and I think a 3 hard will just bump. A 1 hard, I think, doesn't get me out of the way, and I wasn't sure the 2 hard fits.
Yeah, it's close.
And a 1 hard, again, a 1 hard barrel roll would have got me out of the way and set me up nicely to go towards the objective. But if that 1 hard just clips the edge of contrail, that scuppers everything, basically.
Yeah.
So, because Plo's going to do a 2 sleep here. All day long. Barris, I wasn't sure about Barris because she's stressed. I don't think a 1 hard to her right fits. I think that'll clip Plo. So I wasn't sure if she just turns left and gets out of it. And again, Contrail's stressed, so isn't going to be facing the other way. So the only shot I'm likely taking with a 2 Talon is a Plo shot.
Yeah.
And then Mano's just going to do 2 hard to continue coming around because I can't really afford to bank where I'm facing. So I do turn right where they have, left with Manu. Barris bumps, just 2 banks to get rid of the stress into the back of Plo, which I didn't see. I will freely admit.
Hey, 50-50.
And rolls of damage. And then I do the 2 Talon.
So Plo looks like he's just cleared his stress.
I got a feeling he picked up the wrong one because there's still a stress on Barris.
Okay.
So I do the 2 Talon, and take a strain to get a calculate.
Oh wait, no, you're first player. Never mind. So Q9 moved first, so it just means he hasn't moved play yet.
Oh, I see what you mean. And then he does. Yeah, in fact, he can't be stressed because he does the sleep.
Yeah. Do you range 1 into Barris?
I range 1. Or
Contrail.
I range 1 into Barris, and get hit crit, and wipe her off the board.
Because Thank you for bumping.
Still had a force, but just wasn't quite enough. So I had a target lock on Barris because I see what I did here. Sorry, I should go back to it because it's quite. I should have done it with that as well, but anyway, the turn before. Was it the turn before? I'd done something where I'd read something. No, I can't remember the turn before. Oh, that was it. So when I bumped, I took the calculate, but I Babu fricked it.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention that, which is kind of important. So this turn, system phase, I had to spend another Babu frick charge, or I get the stress back. I then 2 Talent and Babu fricked that stress. So that's all my charges gone. But that then means...
So you're getting 1 million stress next round.
Look, I'm getting 2. That means I can get a calculate from his ability, because I've still fully executed an advanced maneuver. And I can perform my action step because I'm not stressed.
Yeah.
So take a target up. Which is why I end up with 3 hits and a crit. Yeah. So, anyway. skipping back to the attacking. Plo does the range 2 CLT. Gets 2 hits, which go through. So Q9 is down to 4. And nobody else has a shot. And it sits at 14-14. Until I go, I wonder, get into the planning and I wonder if Q9's in range. And it turns out he is actually just range 2, so 15-14.
15-14. Woo!
That's my one and only objective point scored. So yeah, system phase, I know that I'm getting 2 stress. I'm like...
You put an ion token on Q.
He took an ion. That last attack was a ion missile.
Ah, nice.
So he's not ioned because you need 2.
Yeah.
But he took a damage and took an ion. So yeah, I know I'm getting 2 stress, so I need to relieve the stress. I'm not sure what banking away nets me, so I actually decided to 4 straight, which is the fastest maneuver blue it can do. My hope being that I know in all likelihood Plo 2 banks to the right.
Yeah.
I was hoping that I'd get second player, which would be great. But if I don't, it's still what it is. But I was hoping that it would take me far enough to get past Plo's arc. But it probably wouldn't be that far that you could fit a boost round.
Yeah.
But I suppose it felt safer than just doing a 1 straight. And I knew the likelihood is I still get a shot onto Contrail.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were about to say?
No, yeah. Like, you're going to get a shot onto Contrail basically no matter what you do, unless Contrail, like, hard wants to the right. But then again, that means Contrail's not doing anything, and Molfar still has to do with Manaru that is slowly approaching.
Exactly. So, what I want to do here is bank Manaru round, so that I'm not stressed anymore, and get rid of one of my 2 remaining strains. I am now about a 1 bank, but I worry about the 1 bank. If Plo does bank round and like barrel rolls away, might leave him out of range. And a 3 bank leaves me a little bit too far towards the board edge, so that if Plo's up, he might be out of arc. So I think 2 banks the right call. So basically, I have to do how do I get Ahav out of the way again? And I think a 2 hard barrel roll is
2 hard barrel roll.
That's what I end up, dialing in. So yeah, 2 hard barrel roll. It doesn't.
Oh, never mind.
Fast. So great. Take
not the end of the world.
So take no damage. See, I am second.
Yeah.
I am second player. Contrail did a 1 hard boost. I did a 4 straight. Plo's done the 2 bank because he's first player. Doesn't boost because he doesn't know where I'm going. I 4 straight, and it does just catch at range.
Yeah,
at range 1. So, I suppose I could have turned in and tried for the bump, but I wasn't expecting Contrail to go where Contrail was.
No, that's an unexpected one.
So
Contrail's shooting for that objective point.
So yeah, so I take 3 damage onto Q9 from that shot.
Not dead yet.
And no shots from me at all. And a point from the objective from Molfar. So 15-15. And as I say,
why do I have a bad feeling this is going to come down to you kill Contrail, but Q9 dies.
So yeah, no.
Or you half Plo, but Q9 dies. I don't see where Q9 lives.
So this is in all likelihood the last turn.
Yeah.
It's what we're thinking. Now I've got 1 stress and 1 iron, but I've still got a contraband to pop. So
ooh, yeah.
I kind of accept that I'm going to die. So I'm fully accepting I'll take a strain and use this ability. I'm going to have to 2 Talon because I don't think a 5k fits.
Yep.
And I can't 2 Talon to the left because if I'm first player, that just bumps into Contrail.
Yep.
So that leaves me 1 choice, really. 2 Talon to the right.
Pretty much.
Ahav, because I'm not stressed anymore, although that doesn't hugely matter, Ahav is now going to 2 bank to the left because that's going to put me basically facing Plo, and wherever Plo goes, I should have a shot.
Manaroo is.
Yeah, sorry, I keep
Yeah.
Manaroo. Ahab is going to hard turn to the right. I do a too hard because I think a too hard lines me up for a straight run to the objective if I want to. I think I actually end up barrel rolling, but we'll find out. Like Contrail, I'm expecting a one hard or a bank upwards. And Plo, in all honesty, I was expecting like maybe a one hard to the right or
I don't know. I could see Plo going fast straight here.
Or a bank. See, I'm not sure because all that.
Like I don't know what Plo's force is at, but like if he's at only like one force, I could see taking a force reset here.
But we don't hugely have enough time, and we're equal on points. Manaroo's going to be chasing Plo. If I can half Plo, I don't think there's enough rounds left to equal that off the 1 point of chance engagement. So, of the objective, sorry. But we'll show you what comes up, because it's nothing that I think you'll ever guess. So we roll off, and I'm pretty sure when we roll off, I am first player. Yeah, so here we go. I am first player. I do the bank. I focus into a rotate to put it out the front, and I do. So I barrel rolled there, barrel rolled in because I actually thought, what happens if Plo turns to the left and tries to just shoot past people?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Ring Ahab's there. So I do the Talon. I've popped Contraband. I take the Calculate with Q9's ability, and then I use the Razor Crest title to do the evade linked into barrel. I thought, hey, if I'm only going to have one evade dice, let's make sure it's an evade without having to use my Calculate. Contrail does bank. Yeah, Contrail banks up to the right and takes a focus, and yeah, Plo does a 5k, which I wasn't expecting.
I mean, that does get him the potential shot into Q9, right?
It does. So I
don't know if the arc actually lines. But...
So I shoot first into him. I deal 2 damage after a target lock spend, and do nothing.
He doesn't have Q9.
It doesn't have Q9, and it's by millimeters. And he interestingly chooses to go into Ahab here.
I mean, Ahab is the most half pointable when you have 2 dice, right?
Yeah.
Plinking the shields of Manaroo does nothing, but if you blank out and he gets 2, suddenly Ahab's halved.
See, me, I would have been like trying to use Ahab's focus up so that he has less mods, because he does have a shot back, and ends up with 3 hits, and Plo rolls 3 blanks and an evade, so that is half points on Plo.
17 to 15,
but not for much longer, because Mothos scores the objective point. So 17-16 with a minute and 41 left on the clock.
Q9's gained a health.
Ah, right, yes. So
I
wasn't. No. I wasn't down to 1. I was in fact on 2, but for almost the entire game, I forgot I had a hull upgrade.
Fair enough.
I was like, oh, better add that one back on. So I'm triple stressed and strained, and on 2 health, and I've got Plo facing me. Q9's dying. But what I have to do is I have to take Plo with me, because that's 3 points apiece, and then I win 20. If nothing else happens, I win 20-19.
Yeah.
So basically, I bank in with Manaroo. I do a 1 bank with Q9 because it's the slowest bank maneuver. And then I 3 bank Ahab up towards the objective to just try and contest it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like you Ahab either 3 banks to the right in the hope of like tickling pillow and blocking him, or you 3-bank to the left just to make sure you're in range.
I do wonder whether the block was the right call, and you'll see why in a minute. Maybe I should have gone for the block. I did.
Because I figure Ahab's either not getting a shot if he goes up to the left, or he might get it, or not getting a shot but also blocking Plo.
See, now I've done the banks. I've banked up with Ahab and taken a focus, and I thought that was a reasonably good kill box.
Yeah.
Because he's stressed.
Oh, does he slink out?
Yeah. So because he's stressed, there's no hard turning. And I thought
There's a 2-bank boost to just get out.
So no, it's even worse than that. So he hard turns, contrail, and takes the focus because he knows that he's likely not winning the 1-on-1 with Ahab. He does a 1-bank, and even
he just barrel roll boosts.
Well, even at this point, I'm like quite happy. But yeah, he barrel rolls, and I didn't think it would be quite that far. I thought you could straight boost gets him out of my arc, and I'm still in his. I do a hit. I chuck hit crit at contrail, and he dodges it. Plo finally outmaneuvers me.
Oh god, yeah, outmaneuver.
Yeah, and kills Q9.
Yeah.
All
right, Manaru.
Well, this so I'm now 19-7 behind. But I got a range. So I do Manaru. I got a range 2 shot into Plo, who doesn't have any mods on 2 health. I roll 3 hits, and of course he rolls 2 evades. Like the one time the greens weren't good for him. I was like, God damn it. Because that
sometimes that 1 time's all it needs.
Well, yeah. And then it's like, right, well, I guess we've got to do the 2 against 3 modded. Of course, a blank, so 1 hit, 2 evades. That was game.
Yeah.
It was a fun game. It was close the whole way through. Bit of back and forth.
19-17. That looks.
19-17.
Yeah.
Like, because even after Manaru had fluffed, if Ahab had got that 1 damage through on contrail, then we draw because I get 1 for the win and 1 for the objective.
Yeah.
And then we play the next round. And the next round, I think, favours me. So,
yes, it does.
Because quite frankly, all I have to do for the next round is put Ahab like a 3-bank to the right to keep him on the objective. And
Ahab just fucking 1 hard.
Yeah, and then
sorry for the language.
And then I just like realistically probably just 1 straight Manaru, target lock, rotate. The chances of him half pointing Manaru were 0.
No, that stress isn't close, is it?
No, that was on the back of Q9.
Yeah,
but I mean that's how it is, and I can't complain.
Sometimes
I can't.
I don't think you can complain about dice.
No, exactly. Exactly. Well, mine weren't particularly brilliant. Like the dice stats, we were both reasonably heavy negative, but it was reasonably negative greens. The reds were just hovering above 0. I think his was like 0.3 and mine were like 0.1. But yeah, especially the early parts of the game, Morphal's greens were bad. So
who needs greens when you can just throw 5 to 6 reds every single turn with Jedi?
Well, that's it.
But that is a 2 attack die ship, Sean.
Yeah, I'm fastly aware of that. But yeah, those are. There's definitely some mistakes there. Not Gamut King the first round, or second round, should I say, was a big one. Because I could have then started modding more on attack and so on and so forth. And yeah, maybe not going, because I think I could have got in the way of that 1 bank with Ahab. And even if I...
Yeah, even if you don't, Ahab has a shot into Plo.
Yeah, exactly. But I think a 3-bank would have put me in the way of that.
Yeah.
And then realistically, I think he dies.
Yeah, definitely.
So, but hey,
he definitely dies if both Q9 and Manaru are shooting at him.
Yeah, and probably range 1, not range 2. So, but
that's hindsight.
That's hindsight. But no, it was a very good game, and If you're going to lose, at least it's close.
Yeah. We'll wait till we get my reports next week for a probably one-sided slapping.
You should have
My
it.
opponent is running the Wedge Hera
I mean,
Rebel stuff.
it's beatable. I beat it at Club Night last night.
Yeah, but you were running Republic.
Well, yeah, right, fair enough. Okay, guys.
I mean, actually, no. I've beaten it with the list I'm planning on bringing, so we'll see what happens.
Well, on Sam's optimism there, and by God, by next week I'll get him some more. We'll call it there because this has been quite a long one. Yeah, we'll be back next week with some more Kyber. I don't expect Sam and I to make cuts, so maybe our Kyber reviews will last as long as the cup because we've got 2 a week.
Yeah,
So we can stretch it out past when we're both no longer in the tournament. But yeah, we'll certainly be bringing you some of those reports because it'll be good to play against lists that we don't normally play against and factions we don't normally play against. So
speak for yourself. I'm playing against rebels.
Yeah, but you only play against rebels like Club Night, don't you?
Yeah, feels like every Club Night.
But stop playing Chris and Steve then.
Yeah,
I mean, I literally played Rebels last night.
True. I played Rebels Imperials.
I flew against a combined 4 B-Wings.
So. I flew against 3 B-Wings. Like, we all know that 3 of the B-Wings are one of the lists.
Well, yeah, okay. But on our mutual hatred for B-Wings, which is a lie, because I love the B-Wings.
I mean, I love B-Wings, but why do they give them a trajectory simulator? Like, seriously,
I don't
why?
know. But, anywho, on that note, we will call it.
Yeah, let's call it.
It's
quite late, actually. Good
yes,
Lord.
yes, it is. We will see you guys next week for some more Kyber, Sam's Chance Encounter. So until then, ta-ta.
Ta-ta.
That was a little over the top.
No, it wasn't. It was exactly as it was needed.